right, so yeah, that episode of Demon Slayer was fantastic. I'm just constantly impressed by this series. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like every week, like I say like, wow, that was a really impressive episode. And then the next episode comes and I'm like, well, that was a really impressive episode. At least it's consistent in that regard. So in this episode, a lot of stuff happened. We had, of course, the fight between Tengen, Gyutaro, Tanjiro, and all of these other people, but as well the return of Hinatsuru. So let's go ahead and jump right into the episode because there's so much to discuss, so much to talk about. Let's do it. So I guess the first thing that we could talk about is Tanjiro successfully puts Nezuko back in her box, and that seems very weird to say out of context. So Gyutaro seems a little tad bit jealous of Tengen, or maybe a little envious to say the least. How he talks about how Tengen has all of these things and he's so lucky to have all these things and be so gifted as he is. And well, Tengen actually counters this and says that he's lost a lot over the years and doesn't really even have any of these natural talents or anything like that. These are things that he's had to constantly work for. What I think makes this scene even more emotionally compelling is Tengen feels he can't be like Rengoku. And that to me, once again, shows how important Rengoku is to this story. I mean, just think about it. Rengoku is a person that had one of these really well-told deaths in the story, and ever since then, it seems like his death has caused such a massive ripple in the Demon Slayer Corps. Almost every single person who knew Rengoku seemed to have looked up to the dude, and I think that goes to show how nice and how, but as well, special of a person this guy was in the Demon Slayer universe. And I love how they keep referencing him because it was such a big moment and it would have sucked to just have his influence wash away in the series, where it really doesn't. If anything, his involvement is just as prominent as it was before, even though he's passed away. I mean, we have the things like Rengoku's father, Rengoku's little brother, still playing roles within the story. And outside of that, we have scenes like these, where many members of the Demon Slayer Corps wish they could live up to the status of Rengoku. And that just goes to show how influential this man was and how special he was of a Hashira. But still, there's a battle waging on here between the two sides of the demons and the Demon Slayer Corps, and Gyutaro uses his blood sickles, and it turns out that actually his blood sickles are actually poisonous and has since started to affect Tengen. Though I think what's really cool about this is that since he's a shinobi, since he's a ninja, he's built up a resistance to poison. Though as the fight goes on, that doesn't seem to be as true as stated previously, as obviously throughout the entire fight, the effects of the poison do seem to slow him down and weaken him, at least visually speaking. Though as we'll see in the fight, Tengen is really good. Though it seems we have a little bit of lore for the shinobi, because Taki believed that all the shinobi died out in the Edo period. And if we are to take the word of Daki that this is true, and what Tengen says about how he was born, and by the age of 15, there were only 7 shinobi left, and then by the time that he went through this really heinous training program by his father, who believed that the clan was doomed, there were only 2 left. Him and his little brother. If we were to believe that, then the shinobi and the ninja itself are just a dying breed in this world of Demon Slayer, and it's really nice to see that, especially in this fight, that he still uses a lot of these ninja techniques. He's still very quick, he's still using things like kunai and what have you. I like that. It makes the fight seem more dynamic and different rather than just 2 swordsmen doing sword stuff to each other. Though I think when we talk about how Rengoku's influence is in this series, I think the Master's influence as well is just as prominent as, say, Rengoku's is, because it seems like everyone has so many great things to say about the Master of the Demon Slayer Corps, and we see in this episode that he really affected Tengen quite a bit in the series, and that shows after the flashback where Tengen is like, this guy gave me purpose to live, a reason to keep fighting, a reason people to fight for, and that is to protect the humans, to protect the people that can't protect themselves. And I love that. I love that kind of storytelling. It's really noble. It really makes the good guys in the Demon Slayer Corps seem just so special than I would say more special actually than they already are, because, you see a lot of the Demon Slayers in the Demon Slayer Corps, they're all kind of crazy in their own way, and you think, wow, some of these people are probably bad apples, but so far it seems all of them are united in the goal of protecting people that cannot be protected. And that's such a strong, resonating goal within all of them that it's really admirable for the Master of the Demon Slayer Corps, because I think it shows for him that he's really a good leader. As for the fight itself, this is really cool. I love the way they animated this. This was fantastic. So Tengen, one of my favorite spots in this whole fight, easily, is when Tengen kicks Daki while simultaneously blocking one of Gyutaro's blows. Dude, that was so freaking cool. Dude, UFO Table, Demon Slayer has some of the coolest just fights I think I've seen in anime in a while, probably since Fate, honestly. I'm trying to think. Fate, Dragon Ball Super had a really good fight with Broly. There's a lot, but Demon Slayer really sticks out. Honestly, it really does, because this fight was so dynamic. It was so unique. You had, you know, the matching of a ninja with whatever the hell Gyutaro is, and especially Daki as well. I especially love the scene where Tengen, he is really smart. So he has chains that connect his two blades. And so what he does is he uses the very tip of his blade. He has a extremely strong grip, and he holds onto it and basically uses that as basically to extend his blade. So he's barely holding like onto the very edge of it, but his grip is so strong that he's able to just throw this thing and have an extended reach, and he's actually able to cut Daki's head off again, which is really funny because Daki's like, he cut my head off again. I love the voice actress for Daki. She is so good. So then Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro finally show up towards the battle, and this is a really good part of the episode. The dialogue here is so good. The characterizations are on point. Zenitsu is still asleep. Did anybody not decide to wake this up? You know what? No. Don't wake him up. I made a community tab post recently about how Zenitsu sleeping is the Demon Slayer Corps' ultimate weapon. So in this episode, they actually, you know, Zenitsu and Daki start to fight. So I wonder how that is going to go, because Zenitsu is like I think somebody put in my comment section on that community tab post that Zenitsu is a nuke with a snot bubble. And I agree. I absolutely agree. And I think that Zenitsu probably poses a threat to Daki. I mean, that's my theory on their fight so far. See, their fight is actually pretty interesting. Now that I think about it, I guess we should just go ahead and talk about it, because Zenitsu immediately tells Daki to apologize to the girl that she almost ripped the ear off of earlier. I think it was episode 2 or 3 of the Entertainment District arc. And Daki, we get a lot of very revealing dialogue about who she is as a character and hints towards her past. She talks about, Zenitsu brings up is you were hurt in the past, but that doesn't mean you should know then through that not to hurt other people. And Daki is like, no, I have to hurt people to balance the scales of my misery, pretty much. And if I'm not hurting others, then I can't feel better. Or, well, it's really like she's not trying to feel better. She's just trying to hurt others and take out her anger on other people without ever trying to consider moving on from these things. And I think that shows that Daki is much like all of the demons. I'm not saying that because I'm a Daki simp, but literally all of the demons so far, this continues a path that a lot of them were most likely, in my opinion, taken advantage of because they were hurt by something. And maybe Muzan Jackson used that to, I don't know, reprogram these demons, right? To use their anger as a way, and their, trauma and issues as a way to turn them into his good little soldiers, right? I mean, that's the way it seems that Muzan is kind of like the master manipulator in all this, I would say. That's my theory on it, at least. I'm not sure, but that is my theory. But also, I am a simp for Daki, so I can fix her. You know what? You let me in a room with her and we can talk it out. We can hash it out. We can play some Monopoly, some Jenga. And by the end of it, well, Monopoly's probably not good. Monopoly will just make her hate humans even more. You know what? Never mind. Don't put me in a room with her. Not if I come up with the idea of playing Monopoly. And see, my second thought there was Uno, which probably is even worse. I'd be a terrible therapist. So Daki, continuing on with her, she's now upgraded to her full power, which means she now has an extra eye. So she can now see everything, which is really interesting. to say the least. I think that's, I'm trying to think. Wasn't there another demon that had like an extra eye? Was it this season? Or well, not this season. Was it the beginning of the Mugen Train arc? Or am I just like, have I smoked something and not realized it? I don't remember. But either way, full power Daki, that is going to be really interesting. I already thought she was a full power before. Apparently this is her third form, hopefully not her final. And yeah, I'm really interested to see where this fight goes, especially because, you know, it's Daki and Zenitsu. I mean, Daki is already pretty much nearly defeated Tanjiro on multiple occasions. So I think that it is rather important to probably have Zenitsu struggle with Daki still. It would kind of suck if Daki suddenly just becomes Gyutaro's lackey. But then again, par for the course with female shonen characters. They're not all treated well. Though I do like how Tanjiro tries his best to support Tengen because he's trying, it feels to me, he's almost like he's learned his lesson from Rengoku and now he's trying his best because he also knows that Tengen is poisoned. So he's trying his freaking hardest. And I think Tengen even notices this in the battle. I like that he cares so much about his Sugoku that he notices that Tanjiro is trying his best and he's probably somewhat in danger because his wound is deep. He also notices that his hand is wrapped around his blade handle so that he wouldn't lose grip of it. Plus, you know, he's also fighting with Nezuko in a box on his back, which actually, you know, that makes me think that Nezuko may pop out of the box again during this fight. And if so, what is that going to be like? Huh. Would Nezuko do the right thing in this instance and not be controlled by her demon instincts? I wonder. But the part I think a lot of people were waiting for is Hinatsudu popping back up and evening the playing field. She has like some sort of weapon that's like, it fires a bunch of kunai. And these kunai are, like they have like a bunch of wisteria extract on them. And it's able to poison Gyutaro, which actually evens the fight back out. I thought it was really cool to see Hinatsudu back in the fight again. Of course, the last time we saw her, Tengen was giving her some medicine and telling her to go rest. And finally we get to see Hinatsudu. And I wonder if we're going to see the other two back in the fight in the next upcoming episodes, because I mean, honestly, like what do we have? We have Inosuke and Zenitsu at full power, you know, some not injured, nothing like that. And I think that's it. Besides that, you have Makio and Suma, who's not even in the fight yet. So I think we're going to see, hopefully in the future episodes, just all of these people come together and unite to take down the big bad evil of Gyutaro and Daki, but hopefully not Daki. Hopefully they save Daki and they make her good, because I'm a Daki simp. That being said, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. This was a very good episode of Demon Slayer. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't really have many theories really or anything to come away at the very end of this episode, because this is kind of, I guess, in the big climax of the series for season 2, because we only got like what, 3 or 4 episodes left, so we're kind of already there. We already got to we're at the big stuff right now. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next, especially the next couple episodes of Demon Slayer, but not only that, I guess the last episodes of Demon Slayer season 2. I guess that's really where we're at right now, which is kind of sucks in a way that it's almost already over, but hey, it is what it is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, check out my other Demon Slayer videos, and as well, check out my Attack on Titan video that's coming out today. See you guys later. Bye-bye.